Hey Patriots fans, it is time to catch up on all the latest updates and insights about our New England Patriots. And I have to tell you, there are some really encouraging signs coming out of practice. First and foremost, we have some key players getting back on the field, and that is huge news for a team that has been missing a few crucial pieces. Jared Wilson, Tonga, and Schooler all took part in practice today, which is already a massive boost. Tonga coming back is particularly significant, especially given that we have been without Milton Williams due to his injury reserve status. Tonga has been a standout not just in run defense, but also as a leader on offense. As a fullback, he has contributed as a lead blocker and someone who really sets the tone for the team physically, and seeing him back on the field brings a lot of optimism. Then you have Schooler, who is undeniably one of the top special teams players in the entire league. His presence alone can change the dynamic on kickoff and punt coverage, and having these guys potentially available against the Bills makes a huge difference. The combination of experience, skill, and leadership that they bring cannot be understated, and if all of them are able to step back onto the field, it sets the stage for a strong performance in a very critical week. Now, looking at how things have unfolded, it is worth noting that the timing of these injuries and returns has been somewhat fortunate. While missing key players is never ideal, the Patriots faced opponents in recent weeks who, let's just say it plainly, are not playoff-caliber teams. That allowed the team to weather these absences without falling too far behind in the standings. As we move forward, the return of these starters comes at a time when it could have a meaningful impact, especially as we approach the crucial matchups that determine playoff positioning. It will be interesting to see how they integrate back into the lineup and whether they can regain full game speed quickly. But from what has been seen in practice, there is reason for optimism. Fans are already talking about the potential of these players stepping back into key roles, and it is a conversation worth having. Schooler, in particular, has been managing some lingering issues with his ankle, so there's still a level of caution, but even partial participation from these players could significantly strengthen the roster. Shifting focus to the bigger picture, the Patriots have been technically overtaken for the #1 seed in the AFC by the Denver Broncos, who are currently sitting at 11 wins and 2 losses. The Broncos hold the tiebreaker over New England, largely thanks to their performance against teams like the Raiders. However, looking at the Broncos' remaining schedule, there is reason to believe that the Patriots may still have an advantage. Denver has a mix of home and away games left, with matchups against teams like the Packers, Jacksonville, and the Chargers. While none of these games will be easy, there's an argument to be made that New England's path could be more favorable, particularly coming off a bye week and with the potential return of key players from the injured reserve list. There's also the factor that several of the Broncos' opponents are currently playoff contenders, which adds a level of difficulty that the Patriots may not face to the same extent. Looking at the numbers and matchups, there is still a very realistic path for New England to reclaim the top seed if everything goes right in these next few weeks. When we break down the competition, it becomes clear that the Broncos have a challenging finish. While they have been strong this season, their remaining opponents include teams that are either fighting for playoff positioning or looking to make a statement in the final stretch. The Packers are in a tight race in the NFC. The Jaguars are at the top of the AFC South, and the Chargers are looking to secure a playoff spot in the AFC West. The Chiefs, while struggling to stay in the hunt, remain a dangerous team, and every game in their division carries high stakes. Comparing this to the Patriots' schedule, New England faces a mix of opponents, some of whom have struggled this season, and the timing of their bye week could give them an edge in terms of rest and recovery. There is no denying that matchups like the Bills will be challenging, but the overall path appears manageable and offers a significant opportunity to move up the standings. On the roster front, there are additional positive notes as well. My Butler has returned to the Patriots practice squad, which adds depth and provides additional options in case of injuries. Having experienced players who are familiar with the system is always an advantage, and Butler's presence strengthens the overall roster depth. Alongside Wilson and Ben Brown, who is a very solid backup option, the team has been making moves to ensure that the practice squad can contribute meaningfully if needed. This combination of returning starters and strong depth pieces paints a very promising picture as the Patriots head into the final stretch of the season. It is also important to consider the psychological aspect of having these players return. The confidence that comes from knowing that key contributors are back on the field cannot be overstated. When players see their teammates returning from injury and participating fully in practice, it lifts the entire team's morale and can translate into better execution on game day. Schooler's return, Tonga's contributions, and Wilson's involvement all send a clear message to the rest of the squad. The Patriots are healthy, focused, and ready to compete at a high level. The chemistry that comes from reintegrating these players will take a few sessions to fully develop, but even incremental improvement in practice can make a significant difference in the intensity and efficiency of the team during games. Looking ahead to the upcoming games, there is a clear opportunity for the Patriots to solidify their position in the AFC. Facing teams like the Bills, Jets, and Ravens, New England will need to be at its best. These matchups are far from easy, with each opponent presenting unique challenges. Playing in Foxborough provides a significant home field advantage, and with the potential return of injured players, the Patriots could leverage this factor to secure critical victories. Even the away games, while challenging, can be approached strategically, focusing on maximizing strengths, mitigating weaknesses, and ensuring that the team remains disciplined and prepared. In terms of strategy, the Patriots have shown adaptability and resilience throughout the season. The coaching staff has done an excellent job of adjusting schemes to fit available personnel, and with the return of key starters, they will have the flexibility to implement more complex and effective game plans. On both sides of the ball, the presence of these players allows for a more balanced attack and stronger defensive alignment. Tonga's versatility as a fullback, Wilson's contributions, and Schooler's special teams impact collectively enhance the team's ability to execute at a high level in critical moments. Overall, there's a sense of cautious optimism surrounding the Patriots. While the Broncos currently hold the #1 seed, New England's remaining schedule, combined with the return of key players and strategic depth on the roster, positions the team well for a strong finish. Fans have every reason to be excited about the potential outcomes, and as we continue to track practice updates, player health, and upcoming matchups, it becomes increasingly clear that the Patriots are in a position to make a significant push for the top spot in the AFC. Every game counts, and as players return and chemistry improves, the team's ability to capitalize on these opportunities could be decisive in determining playoff positioning. Continuing on, another piece of news that deserves attention is the broader implications of these upcoming matchups and the overall playoff landscape. While the Broncos currently sit at the top of the AFC, it is crucial to understand that their remaining games are far from simple. Denver's path includes a mix of teams who are hungry for victories and teams still fighting for playoff positioning. For instance, facing the Packers at home presents a formidable challenge given the Packers need to maintain control over their division. The Jaguars, while strong, have vulnerabilities that the Patriots could exploit, and the Chargers, always competitive, are never a guaranteed win. In contrast, New England's schedule presents opportunities to build momentum. The Patriots come off a bye week, allowing for rest, recovery, and strategic planning. This extra preparation time could prove invaluable, particularly with key players like Tonga, Wilson, and Schooler potentially returning to form. The timing of these returns could not be better, providing a tangible boost in both talent and confidence as the team enters the most crucial stretch of the season. From a tactical standpoint, the Patriots coaching staff has demonstrated remarkable adaptability throughout the season, adjusting schemes to match personnel availability and opponent tendencies. The potential return of these experienced players adds layers of flexibility. Tonga's role as a fullback allows for a more dynamic offensive approach, facilitating both blocking schemes and short yardage plays. Wilson brings energy, skill, and versatility, enhancing both the passing and rushing games, while Schooler's presence on special teams can swing momentum during critical phases of each matchup. These contributions extend beyond mere statistics. They influence field position, game tempo, and the psychological state of both teammates and opponents. With these players stepping back onto the field, New England has an opportunity to execute a more comprehensive game plan, balancing aggression with control and maintaining discipline under pressure. Looking specifically at the Patriots' upcoming opponents, each game presents unique challenges and opportunities. Facing the Bills in Foxborough is always a high-stakes encounter. Buffalo has consistently been a top competitor in the league, and their defensive schemes are capable of disrupting even the most methodical offenses. However, with key players returning and the team benefiting from recent practice time, New England could capitalize on matchups in the trenches and on special teams. The potential impact of having a fully operational roster cannot be overstated. While road games in Baltimore and New York will be tough, the Patriots have demonstrated resilience under pressure throughout the season. Playing strategically and leveraging depth on the roster could result in strong performances in these away contests, keeping the team on track for a top playoff seed. Another factor to consider is the mental edge that comes from having a stable and healthy roster. Players returning from injury often bring renewed energy and leadership to the locker room. The presence of veterans like Schooler and Tonga not only boosts performance on the field, but also uplifts teammates, reinforcing confidence and cohesion. When the entire team can operate near full strength, the impact is felt across every position. Young players gain reassurance from seasoned veterans, and the overall intensity of practice and game execution rises. This holistic improvement can translate into better performance during critical third downs, red zone situations, and game-deciding plays. In essence, the return of key contributors strengthens the Patriots both physically and psychologically, offering an edge that could be decisive in tightly contested matchups. The current playoff picture further emphasizes the importance of these returns and strategic positioning. While the Broncos technically hold the #1 seed, New England's path to reclaiming the top spot is realistic, especially given the comparative difficulty of their remaining schedule. Denver's opponents include multiple teams vying for playoff positions, meaning their games are likely to be intensely competitive and potentially unpredictable. In contrast, the Patriots' upcoming schedule allows for a slightly more controlled approach, with opportunities to capitalize on home field advantage and opponent weaknesses. Foxborough becomes a fortress once again, with fans playing a critical role in energizing the team and influencing momentum. The combination of a manageable schedule, strategic depth, and returning starters could position New England to not only secure wins, but also gain critical tiebreakers in the race for the top seed. Additionally, it is worth noting the significance of roster management beyond just the returning starters. The Patriots have shown prudence in maintaining depth and flexibility, exemplified by moves like bringing Maye Butler back to the practice squad. These depth pieces are more than placeholders. They are reliable contributors who understand the system and can step in when needed, reducing risk and maintaining consistency. Alongside Wilson, Ben Brown, and other key contributors, the practice squad becomes a strategic asset, ensuring that the team can navigate potential injuries or fatigue without sacrificing performance. This attention to detail in roster management reflects a broader organizational strategy aimed at sustaining competitiveness deep into the season. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to Patriots Hub and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our New England Patriots. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Drake Maye has become the center of a swirling storm in Foxborough, the kind of low-voiced locker room murmur that slips past official statements and finds its way into every corner of the facility. According to whispers around the Patriots, the rookie quarterback exploded during a closed-door team meeting, leaving veteran players stunned and, reportedly, far from pleased. No one outside the room knows exactly what was said, but one phrase has been repeated by multiple people close to the situation: nobody on the roster accepted what he did. The tension began as quiet annoyance, the type that usually fades after a practice or two. But insiders suggest this time feels different. Some players allegedly felt Maye stepped far beyond the unspoken boundaries typically respected by first-year quarterbacks. He's been praised publicly for confidence and poise, yet behind the scenes, that same confidence may have crossed into territory that rubbed leaders the wrong way. One source described the scene as shockingly heated, while another hinted that Maye may have challenged a member of the coaching staff in a way few rookies ever dare. The Patriots, outwardly calm, have offered no clarification, but the locker room is said to be buzzing. Some see Maye's outburst as a sign of youthful fire, a quarterback refusing to shrink in a rebuilding phase. Others view it as a risky move from a player still learning the culture of one of the league's most tightly controlled environments. Whichever side is closer to the truth, there's an undeniable sense that something has shifted inside the team. Rumor now has weight in New England, and every small gesture, every sideline glance, every clipped answer in interviews feels like part of a larger story unfolding beneath the surface. Whether this becomes a turning point for Maye or the first crack in a fragile relationship remains unknown, but one thing is clear. The calm in Foxborough has been broken, and people inside and outside the building can feel it. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our New England Patriots, be sure to subscribe to Patriots Hub and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.